Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a behind-the-scenes tour of the Barnes Tennis Center. Ryan Redondo, CEO, brand new CEO. We just finished a podcast. Be sure to check it out. Howard Solomon, part of the Cali Barbecue Media team. And we're going to give you guys an idea of the big plans for the future and why tennis will be the mecca for tennis in Southern California is right here in San Diego. This is the vision. This is the man behind the vision. He's going to bring you guys into what it's like to grow up in a tennis family, to be put in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And now you're going to blossom. But we need help in order to blossom. So
yeah.
come on and enjoy.
One of my favorite, if not my favorite place here is the Booth Education Center. This was such a fantastic addition to U Tennis San Diego. Let you guys go in. So the Booth Education Center here provides our home for junior aces. It's 3 to 5 year olds.
So cool.
And 9 to 12:30, they come in and they've got their classes in here.
Wow. This is a beautiful facility. My son and daughter could make a big mess in here.
I know, it's so beautiful.
Wow.
And they've got the
That's a great playground.
outdoor playground. Right now, because of COVID, they do all their classes outside,
Okay.
and then they play and they do an hour of tennis every day. So such a cool.
Can we go out here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a playground aficionado.
Thank you.
And what age did you say this starts at?
3 to 5 years old.
Wow, so they're playing an hour's worth of tennis at 3 years old?
Yeah, I mean, they do what they can.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
So
yeah.
great.
And they teach them with a red ball or a balloon. Our director and our coaches are awesome.
I have a 3-year-old, so I have no doubt. My son could be on there for 5 hours probably.
Yeah.
The amount of energy that a 3-year-old has is just untapped. This is beautiful.
I'll come out and just for 5 minutes between a meeting or something, come out and just watch them because some of them are super good. And then their comments too.
Right?
The comments they make about they were doing a ring, running around a circle. And Lindsay Vosberg, our director, said, "Okay, guys, feel your heart." And this one kid was feeling his heart, and he goes, "I feel my spirit," And he's like, I was like,
that's amazing.
I got goosebumps. I was like, this is beautiful. This is why we do this. I love that. I'll never forget
I feel
it.
my
amazing.
spirit.
Yeah.
So this is all part of the Barnes Center as well?
Yeah, the parking lot, and then the south lot over there is about 3 acres. Yep.
And does a lot of your funding come from private donations? Because I see like the placards on the courts and sponsorships and things like that.
Yeah, our fundraising, we have the virtual gala coming up. The National Junior Tennis and Learning Center, that's a USTA, through the USTA Foundation. We're a Chapter 4, NJTL. That was co-founded by Arthur Ashe and Charlie Passarell. And so part of our funding comes from the USTA Foundation and Southern California Tennis Association. So there's different avenues that are nonprofit.
So those are do you have to apply for those grants every year?
You apply for them, yeah, and you have to maintain your chapter status and those kind of things. And that requires, doing your outreach and community service and the tournaments and everything you do and financial assistance. Lindsay and our coach Greg, they do Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then they also offer tutoring. So then after they play tennis, they get an hour of tutoring as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, one of the best, I don't know if you've ever seen this one, Inner Game of Tennis.
Probably.
Tim Galloway. So this is the book.
That's the one.
This is, for instance, this is so powerful. This is part of Pete Carroll, the Seahawks coach.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He uses a lot
really
in here.
That's on my list now.
Yeah, it's an amazing book. It's not just tennis. It's not the inner game of tennis. It's the inner game of life and the way he teaches it and stuff. But Pete Carroll refers to this a lot. Love that book.
That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. You got all the old tennis magazines from way back in the day. But this is definitely a gem.
Do you guys do stringing here?
Stringing? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do stringing.
This is awesome. It's like a tennis museum.
I know.
Super cool.
I haven't seen a World Book Encyclopedia for 40 years.
This is awesome. I love this. John Wooden's
Oh, yeah.
Period of Success. Harper for Kids is a a group, Peanut, Louie, and Tim Harper, and they partner with John Wooden, and they have their Pyramid of Success, and they go in to schools and teach Wooden's philosophy, and it's awesome.
Clay courts?
2 clay courts. We used to have 4 clay courts. Those 2 clay courts, they're red clay, and they are out of commission. So a part of our gala is on there is I would like to replace them with the 2 clay courts that Eduardo has at Rancho Valencia.
Unbelievable.
Because they are half the cost, because they use way less than half the water. And essentially it's a turf surface, and then they put the clay on top. Whereas those were installed by the USTA when we hosted the Davis Cup.
Okay.
And they put those in for the Davis Cup players to train on. And those have water tanks under that cracked and are broken. So we can't water from underground, which makes them in the condition they are. So one of my priorities is to get those changed.
That's awesome. Not many clay courts where people can play. Public clay courts for sure.
No.
Lighted as well.
Public, these would be the only public clay courts in San Diego.
Yeah.
Rancho Valencia has them, La Costa, and Rancho Santa Fe, but you need to be members. So we have tennis coaches. We've got about 12 to 14 coaches at one time.
Okay.
We're hiring and we're looking for more because of the demand. And then we have our administrative staff, we have maintenance, janitorial. But I do want to note Steve Adamson. I hired him as our director of tennis. That was my first hire.
Okay. That's an important hire, your first hire.
Very important. And he was the guy I knew, though. I mean, not only does he has in the Steve Adamson Tennis Academy, he's got about 24 kids. Over half are all top 10 in Southern California.
Wow.
Some of them are national champions. And he's got some of the best collegiate athletes as well that he's all coached. And so not only knowing that, and he brought all of those players here, but his values as a person and the way in which he coaches are stellar. And so he and I, a lot of people say you're doing such a great job, but this is about the staff that we have.
Correct.
And he is a huge part of that because he's the one that's in charge of all of our programs. Every single program we have is full with a waiting list.
Wow.
And my vision was that we need a trickle-down effect. And so the trickle-down effect is we need all of the best players here, the top juniors here, so that we are that hub. And then that's going to trickle down and motivate the next program, and then motivate the next program, all the way down to like we said before, the 5-year-old.
Correct.
And so he was the guy I had my eye on. That we need, again, not just his players, but him as the coach and his values leading the tennis.
Yeah.
So he's awesome. Yeah, but this mulch, I mean, it does. Before, this was all just dead weeds and everything.
It's amazing what a little bit of landscaping can do to improve the aesthetics of a property.
Unfortunately, with the time change, a lot of our programs that when people can come out and play are going to get hindered because of light.
Yep.
So we need to get lights on these pickleball courts.
How much do lights cost?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure that out, what kind we need, because we do have excess lights for the courts that we could use. But so it would just be installation, poles. We already have electricity out here. So in about 30 minutes or so, every one of these courts is going to be filled with kids.
Really?
I
played CIF on these courts.
Yeah, me too.
Full circle, right?
I know. I played all the junior tournaments, CIF. When I was in college, they hosted the World Team Tennis College Championships here. So I played here in college. Played in the Mountain West.
How'd you do?
That was kind of like you talked about in the podcast, like burnt out.
Yes.
And when I transferred to San Diego State, the first tournament was here. So as an Aztec, that was the first tournament I got to play. And with the World Team Tennis, it's co-ed. So you got men and women, and then you can sub in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the coach could be like, all right, that guy's not doing good. I'm going to sub this player in. And so I was like the third guy. So I was not in. And, I had done the training, and I was taking on this Blossom Where You're Planted philosophy.
Yes.
And And I remember we were losing, and the coach pulled one of my teammates out. He was really pissed off about that. And he said, "Ryan, you're in." And that was like, okay, I'm going to put it to work here. And we did well.
Wow.
We did well, and it kind of, like I said, from there, we definitely helped the program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you got to the point, you were ranked number 1, right? From doubles?
In doubles, yeah, we were ranked number 1 in the country for a while. We won the national indoors. That was that first semester. And then my junior year, we made the finals of the national championships in Athens, at University of Georgia in Athens.
Wow.
Yeah. So my ultimate goal, I'm going to put this out there, and I want this is that this court should be the World Team Tennis Stadium court.
World Team Tennis Stadium court.
Yeah, it's the Aviators. We have the San Diego Aviators, and they play at La Costa, which is beautiful.
Andy Roddick is still playing, or
I think he is still playing, but it's amazing. It's in La Costa. It's at La Costa Resort right now, which is beautiful. But to me, we can build stadium. Right, this is our stadium court. We can build up, and this is in San Diego, and we're a kids facility.
Yeah.
And so to me, the evolution of sport is, like, it's great up there for La Costa and that area, but let's fill this place up with kids.
Yep.
And watching the Aviators. Let's fill them up. Let's give them free tickets.
That'd be awesome.
Every kid, you get free tickets. We probably have thousands.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're 15 minutes from downtown. We're right next to the ocean. It's a perfect spot. So that's one of my goals. One of my dreams for Barnes is to be the center for Aviators.
You heard it. You heard it on Digital Hospitality right here during COVID.
We just had
Calling
ESPN here yesterday.
Babe Ruth. Calling the shot.
So right now we're walking into the banquet room. It's about 3,000 square feet. And I have my vision for this area is 1,000 square feet over there in that room to be a physical therapy center, a wellness center. Mm-hmm. So that all of our players, because we have some of the best players now in San Diego and Southern California here, keep them here.
Yep.
You know, if they're supplemental training, get it here so they can maximize this small amount of time from school and after school to get all their training in here. If they get hurt, if they need to prehab, not just be hurt, but to get better and to stay healthy. So we've been working with Catalyst Physical Therapy, and they do wellness, and that's kind of my vision that they have, as well as that you're not just coaching the body.
Yeah.
You know, you're coaching all aspects.
That's great.
And so that's a part of the bigger plan for Barnes in this area. I'd love to see this room, which is the banquet room. They've had some banquets, but to me, it's like we should get some garage doors in here and make this a physical, like a fitness center gym. You know, I'd love to see us be able to provide that for the community. That would get community members in here, and they might go out and say, "Wow, I want to play tennis."
Yeah.
Now we've just added a whole nother community of tennis players, and then all of our kids can come and train here as well. So there's lots of space and lots of opportunities here.
And tell us about the food and beverage.
So the food and beverage, you can see a little window here, which to me, if this is a gym, fitness center, and people are working out, and they can get an acai bowl, they can get a smoothie, a juice or something right there, that's perfect, right? And then they can go out, and we're going to be fundraising for all new furniture out here for this lounge area. Now you can have mom and dad that can work out, kids can be playing tennis, they can be running around here, and then they can come on a day they don't even want to play and say, "You know what, I want to get some food."
Yeah.
Right? And now we're providing for the community that they think of Barnes as the place that they want to go for everything in their life.
Yeah.
You know, not everything.
Are there potentials to get a liquor license? Or no?
I would say for events and stuff.
Yeah.
I would have, with the nonprofit status, we'd definitely have to look at what that looks like.
Sure.
I know they, for all of the galas and
they
all
get
of the events, they have all the temporary license, but for that, nothing is out of practice.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's Howard's wheelhouse.
So this is the baby right here.
Yep.
this was one of the most popular.
The tennis
you guys
ghost.
Can come in.
This is the tennis ghost kitchen. You haven't seen it ever before. It's a tennis center turning into a ghost kitchen.
So
Possibly.
This was the most popular place in the 90s and early 2000s for every kid. Before I don't know when they did this because I've just been hired, but these windows open up and this is where all the food was, and this is where parents would bring food home for the kids. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely a place of attention.
Yeah.
Right? And energy. There was energy in this place, and then it hasn't been in here for a while. So.
What were the things that people requested, what they ate?
Lots of sandwiches, pastas, everything. I think they provided kind of what was going at that time.
Because there is no kitchen, which we talked about last time. There's no hood, so like on-site prep. But when you talk about a bigger vision for food and beverage, I mean, the reason why Howard Solomon is on the team, he's really the first hire for us on our big development plan, and that's digital restaurants need to adapt to the world that we're living in, and we need to be more flexible to get quality, slow food fast. So tennis players, it's not about forcing them to eat ribs when they're about to go play tennis.
Yeah.
It's about what do we do best, which is operationally getting the quality food, finding out in the ecosystem of where we are, well, what does the Barn Center need?
Yeah.
What do the families need? What do the tennis players need? What does the fitness professionals, like if we're serving stuff that is an acai bowl that is full with sugar and isn't a natural acai bowl, all those values, when they align, something magical can happen.
Yeah.
If they're conflicting, then it's just a business transaction.
Yeah.
And that's
Then have it be a value to the business as well, where it becomes a profit center and a place for people to go to and a quick stop for a quick game of pickleball and a bite to eat or whatever that looks like.
Yeah. I know. I'm a member at Balboa, and they have a small cafe. And I'll bring my kids to hit on the wall, and we'll get lunch there.
Yeah.
I'll get a breakfast burrito because it's there, and you want to be there.
Yep.
But we have. So one of my things that I did is I started adult memberships. So we're going to have to limit it at some point, but we do have a whole community of adults coming here now at night.
so after the tennis programs?
Yeah, and in the mornings, once COVID kind of ends itself, I think we'll have a good stream of ladies' leagues here, and they always need catering too.
Sure.
But, we have hundreds of kids and families that come here every weekend. This weekend we'll have 300 to 400 people walking through the doors on Saturday and Sunday.
That's amazing.
And they'll eat everything. They'll eat it,
Correct. And the exciting thing for us is that when restaurant operators, when they start to get more flexible of what does our business look like, we don't need to go look for 5,000 square feet. We can now service an incredible vision for all these tennis families and these people that are playing pickleball and that are coming to the Barn Center. But there's Point Loma's here.
Yeah.
Ocean Beach is here. There's sports arenas here. There's people that live in this community that through third-party delivery and digital, as long as it doesn't interrupt the flow of the business and the tennis, we can figure out that. Then it makes sense for great, incredible places to come in. I mean, Danny Meyer has been doing that with Union Square Hospitality Group. And that's how they went into Momo Museum. That's how they went into Central Park. It was all based off of a cart, like a hot dog cart.
Yeah.
But until you have the conversation of what are we trying to do.
Exactly. And I know on Thursday I have a Zoom meeting with Aimco. They own Mariners Cove.
Okay.
They're out of Denver or something. But I got a call from the owner, and he's like, we're going to be demoing each section at a time and completely redoing it.
Really?
Who knows what that looks like?
Sure. But if you don't have that conversation, then it becomes where it's against each other. But when you have a conversation and there maybe is an essence, well, maybe there's synergy.
Yeah.
Like,
or we can say, hey, well, what we're going to be bringing in is we're going to be bringing in this.
Yeah, through that collaborative environment, you create good synergy and partnership and all that stuff.
Yeah. And we have all those townhomes, in south of the lot, and I have a big vision for that south lot ourselves, and so this is a kind of a center. It could be a center of all the circle.
Food and beverage is always
creates a gathering.
Creates
after
the
COVID.
gathering in the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
It creates the memorable moments of life.
And next door is another room that we've been tossing around. Like, do we take this wall out, or do we open it up another window and have that as the inside seating, and that is the outside seating?
Can we see it?
Yeah.
What's above here? Do you know?
4 feet until the ceiling, until the roof.
And then the roof.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
There you go.
Got a whole storage bin over here, big walk-in closet.
And what's here?
This is going to be, this right now is just a big room. They had some equipment here. This was a storage room that it was packed. And so I'm cleaning this up, and this is where we'll rent out for when big events come in. We can say to their staff, you can rent this room out. Rather than, everything right now is everybody's wanting that banquet room for themselves. And my take is that's opportunity for us, for revenue, for kids.
The banquet hall is like, that's your guy. Like, yeah.
So to me, I want to start operating.
It's your flex space.
Exactly.
I mean, there could be TVs in there, and people are watching Wimbledon and French Open. Like, you don't know what it is until once you lose the space, you can't get it back.
Yeah. So we're cleaning this up, and this needs to all go out so that we can start utilizing this too.
What's this for?
This is the Billie Jean King Eye Coach.
Really?
So you have this here. You have it for anybody. It's not just kids, but you grab a racket. There's a racket there, right behind you, and you just start teaching them how to create topspin. Right. So you're here creating topspin.
Wow.
So I know a lot of the coaches will have several of these out. So when they're tossing balls to kids, rather than the other kids just kind of sitting there, they have to be in topspin, and you can start moving and going back and forth. It's a good invention. So this was what they call the youth room. That just had a couch in here, and they got a TV and stuff. But to me, this would be a great addition to the food portion, right? So if you have a window here, or if it's open of some sort in any way, and now you have tables in here, and you got outside, to me that would be ideal.
What would you do with it, Howard?
I don't know. Like, off the top of my head, I'd love to see like a really quick, post-COVID, of course, like a healthy salad bar, nuts kind of thing that you can kind of like get what you want.
Yeah.
In a really quick environment, or even if you just walk through and just picked your ingredient and someone behind the counter tossed it for you.
Oh, yeah. Or you could just order it on your phone through a Toast tab.
Order on your phone through a Toast tab, and pick it up whenever you wanted to.
Pick it up,
have it prepackaged in a refrigerator waiting for you.
Now we're talking.
Definitely.
How many kids would come in here and just be like, swiping to grab a meal?
Yeah, or see their name on it and say, this is mine.
They just get a text when their bowl is ready, or
their deliciousness is ready.
Yeah.
Or any of the people living in the neighborhood.
Yep. This outdoor area is definitely something, when redesigned the right way, can be,
from a hospitality. So Howard runs, how many different hospitality groups he runs, but he takes care of, I forgot the name. What is it? In Little Italy.
Sam the cooking guy?
No, I know Sam the cooking guy. What's the hall called?
Oh, Little Italy Food Hall.
Little Italy Food Hall, which has a shared common space in the middle. Like, literally, they had to pave that, right?
Yeah, pavers.
In order to close off the street, in order to create
I've seen that.
So it's where Not Tacos is, Sam the Cooking Guy's restaurant, and Gray's. But Howard's been instrumental in creating that area.
This whole area can definitely be, weatherproof or weatherized to like sit out there all year long. Like, you wouldn't need to waste any interior space, for a dining kind of situation.
Because that's what you guys already do.
Yeah.
And
that's the exciting part. Is like, there can even be, you should be able to see the tennis, right, from here. Like, it's almost like a Wimbledon experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're in a box. You're getting to watch the best. You get your F&B. Like, if this was an accessible box that nobody gets on center court, but this is where people, when you go and you're in Wimbledon or you're in French Open and you've got the most money, you're in a box. But what if that was here for the kids and the families, and they could watch the best tennis?
Yeah, it's awesome.
What kind of technology is getting implemented into tennis, the sport of tennis, that you're excited about?
So one cool thing for tournaments, because of COVID, is the app. So, I wouldn't want to see this taken away post-COVID, but, there's a tournament desk.
Yes.
All the kids are checking in.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool because all the kids are there. But right now, because of COVID, what the digital side, which has been really safe, is you can check in online.
Yeah.
And then you know which court to go to. So it's been super safe to run tournaments because they just go right to their court. There's no gatherings or anything
awesome.
like that.
That's
You
awesome.
can do push notifications.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything
is through their phone. So you see kids come in, they check in, boom, or the parent does, go to court 16. We've even had the balls waiting
What's
for
the
them.
name of that technology? Or the app?
The tennis app, Match app.
Match app?
Yeah, it's, we got the information up here. You can, right here, look at this, you can scan
QR code?
Match tennis app.
There you go.
Go ahead and scan right there. So that's definitely changed the way in which we can run tournaments. And we've been running tournaments every weekend. We've partnered with the SETA because there's a lot of places, because they run them at clubs, right? Clubs can't have a bunch of kids. So we've been saying, yeah, we'll take them on. We'll take these tournaments on. We've got the courts. And so we've provided competition for all of these kids, college players, pros, post-COVID in the pandemic, which has just been phenomenal, and
It's awesome.
we just hosted the ITA Masters. It was on ESPN on Sunday, and I'm hearing the staff just get thank yous because they're going down and they're wiping right when the match is over. They're keeping things clean. Before the tournament, I went and zip tied hand sanitizer on between every court.
Yeah.
And so just making people feel comfortable, safe, that they can be here.
The hospitality side of tennis.
Absolutely.
The host side of tennis.
Yeah. Yeah, so I hadn't seen that in
So you come
years.
tell us the story.
So this was the room that I had my first staff meeting. So I got to meet the staff here when I was hired on May 1st.
Uh-huh.
And so we met in here, and they were all sitting down in here, and I came in, and I had remembered this. I remember this was in one of the old rooms. I'm in here. All my family members are in here. But then when I look back, and I was like, wow, my great-grandmother's award,
Amazing.
And that was cool. That was like coming home. This is the Harper Inc Tournament. So these are all the winners of the Harper Inc, which is one of
Where are you?
Right here. 91.
Is this you?
That's me.
Down here?
Yeah.
Wow, Ryan
Alexander
Redondo.
Stevenson is in there.
Alexander Stevenson, really?
Yeah, she was there too.
How far did she get? She won. Did she win Wimbledon?
Semis at Wimbledon.
Semis at Wimbledon. I remember. That's amazing.
Yeah, but this is cool. And then you have like Taylor Fritz, Sam Querrey, the current champions.
That's great.
What's cool, I did a little thing in here before a video, and I was telling them it's funny. It's because you could totally tell, the history of San Diego.
Yeah.
You've got, very traditional Caucasian, and then all of a sudden, you get into the 70s, and you're like, oh, there's some Filipino people, and there's my aunt, my uncle, and then you see like lots of Filipino people, you know, and then it definitely starts to change. But
then you're talking about access to courts,
Yeah.
where it's not just white, people that grew up in Rancho Santa Fe or Del Mar or La Jolla.
I don't know if you saw my Instagram post yesterday. I was in Barrio Logan, under the bridge.
Yep.
Check it out though. But I was like looking under there, and I was showing my kids all the skaters, and then taking pictures of all the art. But it's just beautiful how, and I posted on this, like the sociology of under this bridge.
Yes.
And you're going to, and the bridge is all, Barrio Logan, Chicano Park, it's all about freedom and fighting for freedom, which is crazy. And it's all under this bridge, and then you go over this bridge to get to Coronado with the Navy SEALs, and one of the most dominant military. To me, I was like, there's got to be some kind of report on this.
Yes.
Or there should be.
There should be. Documentary.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you can see that in here in tennis.
Yeah.
And you can see it in just the Harper Inc Tournament. You see society, and you can see the changes, which is so beautiful about our country, as well. It's pretty cool.
This is awesome. Any history on Barnes himself, the family?
So Barnes from the East Coast. Yeah. But what he fell in love with, why he was a part of this, was because of the after-school tennis program and the outreach going out to help kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when formerly the San Diego Tennis Patrons at Morley Field, when there were too many juniors and they were starting to get some, not conflict, but I think they started to think, okay, we need a place for all these kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they started their fundraising campaign on this land, to build a facility. And then Georgie Barnes, obviously named after this facility, named after him, he helped create this vision.
That's awesome.
But he loved the vision of going out into the city and helping kids play tennis. And Kathy Willette was the one that started that. And she's still a huge supporter of Youth Tennis San Diego.
On behalf of Digital Hospitality, we can't thank you enough for sharing your vision. This is super exciting for someone that grew up playing tennis, to see all these kids out here playing tennis. I mean, it takes a rising tide, and we're grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for sharing the story. How can people continue to come out and support you guys digitally, even if they're on the other side of the earth? How can they follow you?
Go on our website, www.barnestenniscenter.com. That will connect you to our social media. You can connect with me on Facebook, Ryan Redondo, Instagram, Redondo Ryan _YTSD, and go on Barnes Tennis Center SD on Instagram as well to get all our social media posts, all our video of our tournaments, of our kids, and updates.
It's awesome. Thank you. Stay curious, get involved, and blossom where you're planted.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You got it.